You told yourself it was just a game. 4 friends, 1 abandoned house, hide and seek at 3 in the morning. What could go wrong? Well, by the end of this video, you are going to seriously question whether some games should ever be played in the dark. It started as a dare. My friend group had done stupid things before, but this one felt different the moment we pulled up to that house on the edge of town. Nobody had lived there for 6 years, windows boarded, front door barely hanging on its hinges, and this overwhelming smell of something old and wrong the second you stepped inside. We set the rules simple. 1 person counts, everyone else hides, flashlights allowed, but not required. We had 4 people total. Keith counting, me somewhere behind a collapsed wardrobe on the 2nd floor, Dana in the kitchen, and Tyler in the basement, because Tyler always had to be the dramatic one. The count hit 60. Game started. For about 10 minutes, nothing unusual happened. You hear the floorboards, you hold your breath, you try not to laugh. Normal stuff. Then Keith found Dana. Then he found me. We stood together in the hallway, waiting for Tyler to be discovered, which should have taken maybe 5 more minutes. 30 minutes passed. We called out for Tyler. No answer. Here is where things shift. Keith went to the basement stairs and shone his flashlight down. Tyler was already standing at the bottom, staring up at us. He was not hiding. He had been standing there for almost 20 minutes, completely frozen, not responding to his name being called. When he finally came upstairs, Tyler said something that none of us have been able to shake. He said that while he was hiding behind the old furnace, he heard footsteps walking the basement floor, slow, deliberate footsteps. He assumed it was Keith searching. He stayed still. Then Keith called out from upstairs. The footsteps in the basement kept going. Tyler counted 5 people hiding. There were only 3 of us. We reviewed the footage because, yes, we were filming for exactly this kind of moment. At the 17-minute mark, while the 3 of us were grouped on the 2nd floor, the motion sensor we had placed in the basement hallway triggered. Nothing visible on camera, just the sensor going off, and then a very subtle shift in the shadows near the far wall that none of us noticed until the 3rd time watching it back. I am not here to tell you what that was. Paranormal investigators who have looked at the footage cannot agree either. What I will tell you is that we never finished the game. We left that house fast, and nobody suggested going back. Some locations carry something with them. A history, an energy, call it whatever makes you comfortable. And some games, especially the ones played in darkness at hours when most of the world is asleep, seem to attract attention from things that were never invited to play. If you are thinking about doing something like this yourself, just remember, when you count the players, make absolutely sure your number matches who walked in.